Welcome back to The Wisdom of Sex Presents Tales on the Couch, the podcast where we uncover the most chilling stories of betrayal, manipulation, and deceit in less than 10 minutes. I'm Dr. Wisdom, and today's case will make your blood run cold. It's a story of love gone deadly, a family torn apart by lies, and a chilling attempt to cover up the truth. This is the story of Stacey Castor, a woman whose twisted web of deceit included poisoning not one but two husbands and then attempting to frame her own daughter for the crimes. It's a case that redefines the meaning of betrayal and leaves us asking, how far would someone go to save themselves? Get cozy on the couch and listen to a tale of manipulation and murder that you won't soon forget. Act 1. A picture-perfect beginning. Stacey Castor's story begins in a seemingly normal way. Married to her high school sweetheart, Michael Wallace, she built a life in upstate New York with their two daughters, Ashley and Bree. Friends and family described Stacey as hardworking, a doting wife, and a devoted mother. In 2000, however, tragedy struck. Michael, just 38 years old, died unexpectedly. Doctors ruled it a heart attack, though some of his family members felt uneasy. He had no history of heart problems, and his death seemed too sudden. Still, life moved on, and Stacey, now widowed, focused on raising her daughters. What no one suspected at the time was that Michael's death had not been a tragedy of fate. It was an act of murder. Act 2. A pattern emerges. After Michael's death, Stacey found love again. In 2003, she married David Castor, a successful businessman with whom she hoped to start a new chapter. On the surface, their marriage seemed promising, but behind the scenes it was rife with tension. Friends noted the couple's frequent arguments and David's growing frustration with Stacey's controlling tendencies. Then, in August 2005, David was found dead in their home. A glass of antifreeze sat near his body, along with a typed suicide note. In the note, David confessed to killing Stacey's first husband, Michael Wallace. The scene seemed cut and dry, a man racked with guilt who chose to end his life. But detectives weren't so sure. Why would David confess to a crime no one suspected him of committing? And why did the suicide note seem so meticulously typed, with phrasing that sounded nothing like him? Their suspicions deepened when forensic analysis revealed that the note had been written on Stacey's computer, and the timestamp indicated it was created after David's death. The autopsy showed high levels of ethylene glycol, the toxic compound in antifreeze, in David's system. Authorities decided to take a closer look at Michael Wallace's death. His body was exhumed, and tests revealed the same cause of death, antifreeze poisoning. Stacey had murdered both of her husbands, staging their deaths to look like natural causes or suicide. Act 3. Betrayal at its worst. With the evidence mounting against her, Stacey made a desperate move. In 2007, she turned her attention to her 20-year-old daughter Ashley, who had always been her biggest defender. Stacey mixed antifreeze into a drink and gave it to Ashley, insisting it was something to calm her down after a family argument. Ashley fell gravely ill, but survived long enough to be rushed to the hospital. While she lay unconscious, police searched Stacey's home and found a suicide note on her computer. In it, Ashley confessed to killing both Michael Wallace and David Castor. The note was Stacey's attempt to pin the blame on her daughter and escape justice, but Stacey underestimated Ashley's resilience. When Ashley regained consciousness, she told investigators she had no memory of writing the note and had never harmed anyone. The evidence against Stacey was undeniable. Act 4. Justice unfolds. In 2009, Stacey Castor stood trial for the murders of Michael Wallace and David Castor, as well as the attempted murder of her daughter Ashley. Prosecutors presented a damning case: the antifreeze poisoning, the forged suicide notes, and Stacey's chilling lack of remorse. The jury found her guilty of second-degree murder, attempted murder, and forgery. She was sentenced to 51 years to life in prison, a punishment that ensured she would never see freedom again. Stacey died in prison in 2016 of a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of pain and betrayal. Ashley, who had narrowly escaped her mother's deadly plans, has worked to rebuild her life, though the emotional scars remain. Act 5. Lessons from the case. The case of Stacey Castor forces us to confront the unsettling truth that evil doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it hides behind a familiar smile, lurking in the people we trust most. Stacey's actions were driven by greed, manipulation, and a chilling lack of empathy. She betrayed not only her husband's, but also her daughter's, attempting to frame the very child she was supposed to protect. For Ashley, survival meant more than just escaping death. It meant grappling with the devastating truth about her mother's capacity for cruelty. Her resilience in the face of such betrayal is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. This case reminds us that trust is fragile, and sometimes the most dangerous deceptions are the ones that come from within our own homes. Our time on the couch is up for today. Thank you for joining me for this heart-wrenching episode. If you found today's story as chilling as I did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Do you have a case you'd like us to explore? Reach out on social media or send us an email at drheatherwisdom@gmail.com or visit the website drheatherwisdom.com. Until next time, be open, be curious, don't be rude, know your limits, and stay wise.